Good afternoon, fans, and welcome to the Lady Ricks Gymnasium here in Fredericton, New Brunswick. I'm Bill Gibson. You're watching ACAA TV, Tommy's TV on YouTube. St. Thomas Tommies hosting the Crandall Chargers this afternoon. Tommies right now sit fourth in the conference at 5-3. Crandall just in front of them, 6-3 in third. Mount St. Vincent is a little bit better than those two at 7-3. Out in front of everyone is the 8-1 Holland College Hurricanes and their 102 points scored per game. Of course, not far behind Stu is Mount Allison. It is Holland College and Mount A playing this afternoon, getting underway, well, just about now, about the same time this one does. We'll christen, if you will, that new gymnasium, or newly renovated gymnasium, at Mount A. Mount A's got a pretty steady diet of home cooking this second half because of that gym reno. Be interesting to see where things go. This is the third and final meeting of the regular season between the Tommies and Chargers. The Chargers have taken the first two. November 20th at Crandall, it was 102-95. Each team won two quarters. Crandall had a pretty decisive 34-23 third quarter. Stu reversed that in the fourth with a 32-23 quarter of their own. Vince Littleton, 28. Tanner Hoyt had 20 on only 7 of 9 shooting. Gaio Isaiah with a 13.12 rebound game. Tommies committed 16 turnovers versus Crandall's 6. It was Curtis with 22 points on 7 of 16 shooting for Crandall. And Devon Glenn with 17 points and 7 rebounds leading the Chargers. They did have 7 players hit double digits and one bench scoring 38-22. Back on December 2nd, which in fact is the Tommies' last game played, some 51 days between games for Stu. It was 97-75 in favor of Crandall right here. Don't want to say they took the Tommies out behind the woodshed. It's a pretty good victory there. Holding the Tommies to only 75. That's the only time Tommies have been held below 91 on this season. James French with 21.7 rebounds. Tyree Cooper, 20 points, 9 rebounds. Devon Glenn stuffing the stat sheet, 17 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals. Tyrese Paul, 18 for the Tommies. Jeffrey Lavoie, 13 points, 5 rebounds. For Crandall, they had 13 of 19 from the free throw line, only 5 of 7 for the Tommies. Starters now introduced. It's Devon Glenn, third year out of Woodbridge, Virginia, one of the co-captains, number 2. Leads the Chargers at almost 16 points a game. Brett Curtis out of Harvey, 13 points a game, number 3. Tyree Cooper out of Baltimore, 12 points a game. James French, number 11, 13 points a game out of Moncton. And I believe Daniel Hawks, number 7, was the other Charger introduced there. I just missed that as I was looking down at my sheet briefly. We'll clean that up in just a moment. Starters for the Tommies. A little change here for the Tommies in the second half. It is number 3, Trey Campbell, into the starting lineup. And Vince Littleton switching off to the bench. Otherwise, it's the somewhat familiar starters for the Tommies. Harrison Florian, number 0. Gaio Isaiah, number 6. Tyrese Paul, number 11. And Jeffrey Lavoie, number 13. So, Campbell and Isaiah are the backcourt. Lavoie, Florian, and Paul, the front court. Of course, both Isaiah and Tyrese Paul can sort of switch between 2 and the 3 positions, if you will. Shooting guards from our forwardish. And in fact, it wasn't number 17. It was number 17, Gabe Cormier. And his 11 points per game is the 5th starter for Crandall. So Glenn, Curtis, Cooper, French, and Cormier French and Florian on the top. Controlled by Campbell for Lavoie for three. Jeffrey Lavoie, he averages nearly 14 a game, gets on the board with the first 3 points for the Tommies. They open quickly, 1 for 1, and it's made from deep. Cooper with nowhere to go. Finds French. Devon Glenn. Cooper cross court. Brett Curtis. That rimmed out, but it was Tyree Cooper with a punch out, but out of bounds as that got by Cormier. Lavoie will inbound. Nice look inside for Florian. Florian is among the field goal leaders by percentage in the conference. And he'll be kicking himself in the behind on that one. That's 2 points he knows he should have had. See if he can make it up here. He operates in the post. He's got size on French. Both a little bit of height and certainly width, girth if you will. Florian in the true big man model. Does, if anything, though, Harrison looked like he might have trimmed down over the break a little bit. There he is with the tough catch in traffic. He's going to score 2 there. Clean that one up inside. Got to give the ball to the big fella when he's running the break like that. 5-0 Tommies. We played just over a minute and a half. Curtis on the outside. Lavoie cuts off Curtis. Loose ball to Cooper, who loses the handle, and Tyrese Paul picks it up. Ahead for Gaio Isaiah. Isaiah on the bunny steps through the lane. And he'll make it 7-0 Tommies. French from deep. Rebound Paul. And again, the Tommies look to bring it up with some speed. To the post for Lavoie. Nice move for Lavoie. He'll draw the foul on Cormier. Scratches in this one for the Tommies. Colin Downey, number 12. Tommies are healthy. That is just a numbers game, and we're allowed to have so many on the score sheet. And for the Chargers, Luke Swanson, a scratch, and Sasha Gauthier. This is the Chargers' third game since the holiday break. Played on the Island Open, and Gauthier went down with a knee injury. Coach McKillop before the game says, don't know exactly what it is yet, but it's the ACL, an ACL injury of some sort. Tough loss there for the Chargers if Mr. Gauthier is out for any length of time, and seeing him leave, at least on video, on crutches out of the Island would lead you to believe could be substantial period. Shuffle the feet like a deck of cards, and away we go here on the travel call. 10-0 Tommies. The things I noted in the little tee-up video that Tommy's staff have been getting me do now before the games was the Tommies had to get off to a good start, be at game speed here, as this is their first game in a number of days, some 50, 51-ish. The Chargers, they just played yesterday against a Kings team who, in my view, is much improved coming out of the break as well. Game was closer than it looked, as there's Trey Campbell drains the three. We've not played quite 3.5 minutes. It's Tommy's 13. Chargers yet to get on the board, and timeout Crandall. As indeed, it does appear to be a renewed focus Tommy's team. The keys for me in this one are, can the Chargers duplicate the defensive effort that they had here just before Christmas back on December 2nd. They really, to me, forced the Tommies to go away from their, what you would think would be their main options when you look at the stat sheet. This is not a knock on Tyrese Paul at all. But when you think of the Tommies, you think of Littleton, Lavoie, you think of Isaiah, you think of Tanner Hoyt in terms of, yeah, they're probably the main scoring weapons. But it was Tyrese Paul with by far the most shots taken in that one. And again, I don't say that as a knock on Tyrese. He just does not have the same track record in the conference as a scorer as the other players I mentioned do. But they forced the Tommies, as I say, away from some of those top options. So the key for me for them was for the Chargers, can they duplicate that effort? For the Tommies, it was a good start. And it was, get that defensive identity established because they can score with anybody. It's where are they on the defensive side of things. Pass to the corner. Glenn outside Cooper. Nice pass inside for French, but he can't get it to go, and it's rebounded to the Tommies. Lavoie for Isaiah. Kicks outside for Paul. That's the shot you want Tyrese to take right there if you're the Tommies. Nice work inside by Lavoie, attacking the glass, and they score two. 15-0 Tommies. We've played 4 minutes. You know the Chargers are going to make a run. It's not going to continue this way, obviously. Brett Curtis with the miss from long distance. Lavoie was attacked on the dribble by a couple Chargers. He went down, lost the ball out of bounds, but it was off of a Crandall player. Isaiah outside for Lavoie. Campbell, he's open for three. He takes it and makes it. Trey Campbell, if he gets smoking from outside, this is trouble for Crandall. Once he gets going, he can cook all afternoon long. Glenn for three. Little set shot there from Devon Glenn. Glenn shot very well this season. Over 45% on the three-pointers and from the field overall. In fact, almost 50 from the field. Campbell again, as I said, he can get cooking. Factor him on that one, but he's going to take it again and make it this time. No, front rim. Split the difference there, Trey. I thought that one was going in. Sometimes the angles from high here in my perch fool me a bit. Florian up for Isaiah. Isaiah against Cooper, scores two and draws the blocking foul. Tyree Cooper says, I don't think so, Mr. Referee. And the referees in this one, I don't think I've mentioned it already, Mr. Michael Murray, Mr. Dave Gallagher, and Mr. Dan Wilton. We in charge to making sure all goes according to Hoyle here. Subs in for St. Thomas. Evan Villain, number 9. Vince Littleton, number 4. And Tanner Hoyt, number 6. As Isaiah goes to the line. It's an 85% free throw shooter. That makes him among the best in the conference. Knocked that one down. Nice move there from Glenn to shake Isaiah. It's another missed shot. That's Mark Hoffer, number 6, who's checked in. Villain on the miss. Rebound. Cormier. Nice look inside for French, and he will finish. Nice pass from Gabe Cormier. Chargers Pass just a little too low for Florian. He tries to work from the ground to get the ball. We've got a tie-up in favor of Crandall. Florian and Curtis. Like a little trash talk there. Say exchanging pleasantries. Don't know exactly what they're saying. Certainly a couple guys who will tell you what they're thinking, that's for sure. Curtis goes over Florian that time, no good. French gets a hand on the rebound, but it's Villain who rips it away. Comes to the front court for Littleton. Littleton kicks to the corner for Hoyt. Money, no. Tanner usually doesn't miss many of those. That's twice I've been fooled on shots from deep for the Tommies. Have to stop anticipating, I guess. Hoffer for three. There's Tanner Hoyt with the dead eye that time. Tommies have talked about the lessons learned in the first half and coming back focused here on the second half. Highly competitive conference, ACAA, and the Tommies, they're a good team. They can be a very good team. But so can 4 or 5 other teams here in this conference. No easy games out at all. Amos and Lavoie check in. Isaiah and Florian out. And Daniel Hawks, number 7, checks in for Brett Curtis on the Crandall side. 2:10 to go, 24-8. Favor of the Tommies. French. The boot on the inbounds pass. Hoyt for Lavoie. Outside for Littleton. Littleton now back for Hoyt again. That's going to be a 2. Tanner Hoyt with 5 off the bench for the Tommies here in the first quarter. Hawks out of Woodstock. Spins on Amos, goes nowhere. Outside for Cormier. Cormier gets within 8 feet and then gives it up to French, who was within 2, and French scores it. Littleton fakes on Glenn. Kick to the corner for Amos. Owen Amos drains a 3. Tommies communicating well on defense here in this first quarter. One noticeable thing for me. Long shots missed, batted back out to Glenn. He'll reset. Under a minute to go here in this quarter. He's got Amos on him. Glenn has got to be licking his lips on that matchup in terms of the speed perspective. Long shot missed by Cormier. Rebound to the Tommies. 36 to go in the quarter as Villain lays it in for 2. Now it's Littleton squaring up Glenn. That's a little more even on the speed perspective, I would say. No offense there to Owen Amos, but Devon Glenn's got some wheels. .16 seconds to go in the quarter. The Tommies can play for the last shot. They lead right now by 21, 31-10. Littleton for 3. That rimmed out. Rebound French. 3 seconds on the clock. And intercepted by Villain. Nice steal there on the pass intended for Hawks. We're going to end the first quarter. A bit one-sided on the scoreboard, but entertaining nonetheless. Tommies 31, Chargers 10. I'm Bill Gibson. You're watching ACA TV. Tommies TV on YouTube. come on back in about a minute and a half, and we will have action from Q2. Welcome back. We're just about set here out of the first quarter intermission. It's the Tommies plus 21 on the Chargers. So check mark so far for the Tommies. Get a good start. Establish a bit of defensive identity. They've held the Chargers to 10 in the first quarter and put up 31 themselves. So in terms of my keys to the game so far, the Tommies are right on point. Chargers, not so much. Chargers are coming off a game yesterday where they won by 10 against UKC. Devon Glenn had 22.7 rebounds, 5 assists in that one. French with a 13 and 11 double-double. Tyree Cooper added 13. Brendan Morris with an 18.8 rebound game for UKC, and Sandreas Clayton is a second half addition for Kings with a 13 and 8 game. Clayton makes that Kings team much more dynamic, gives them another score. That game, I would say yesterday, it was a 10-point final on the scoreboard. I didn't get a chance to watch all of it, but I did see a lot of the end, later parts of the game. It's much closer, and I thought, as I did think Coach Stevenson thought the Kings got the worst end of the whistle, at least in parts of the game that I saw. Can't comment on the whole game, but it's the way it goes sometimes. As Hawks scores 2. And Crandall, coming out of the break on January 12th, they lost at Holland College, 110-86. Cormier with 20, Curtis with 18 leading scores for Crandall. As mentioned, the big news was the loss of Gauthier in that one, the best defender of the Chargers. And of course, in true Holland College fashion, they have added in the second half, and Mr. Marcellus Taliaferro introduced himself to the league at the expense of Crandall. The alley-oop to start off the game. Finished with a 21-point, 11-rebound debut. Did the 6'7" forward out of Milwaukee. I've seen him listed at 6'7". I've seen him at 6'9". So let's call him somewhere 6'8"-ish. And I see the college has another addition to their roster as well, in the form of another 6'7" forward. This one out of the Bahamas, Troy Tremblay. See if he's in the lineup this afternoon for that game at Mount A. So the front-running Holland College gets better after the break, no question, with those additions. And the Tommies, by luck of the schedule, have 3 against the Hurricanes in this second half. Haven't seen them yet this season. 2 on the island next weekend. Back to this one. We had a 3 made by Brett Curtis. As I was doing a little rundown on our action here around the league this season. And of course, mentioned the records off the top. Crandall at 6-3. They are now done with Holland College. And their only losses, yes, all 3 of their losses have come to Holland College, and the Tommies have yet to play them. That tells you a little bit about the strength of the Hurricanes just in that. Crandall's beaten STU twice. They lost all 3 times to HC. Not that STU can't play with HC or anything like that. Just saying that that's a strong club amongst many strong clubs in this league. In fact, let's look at the rankings. BIU is first nationally. Holland College at 8-1 checks in only 7th. Their loss coming to MSVU, and MSVU checks in at 15th. Crandall's been in the rankings. STU's been in the rankings this season. Oh, nice move by Hawks on the spin. And just to finish that thought, you know, parity in the ACAA, there are lots of good teams here, strong teams. But the way they're beating up on each other at the top of the conference doesn't lead to a lot of teams, and certainly highly ranked teams when looked upon nationally. I think the ACAA often underlooked. Of course, it's hard to fight that uphill battle by times when you get the lower rankings going into nationals. End up matched against the top teams right away, often to the ACAA teams. Make from the line there by Florian. Tommies with some good pressure there. Glenn for Cooper and Curtis. 10 on the shot clock. Curtis. French on the offensive glass, gets that one up, no good. That time it's Lavoie on the rebound. Lavoie taken away by Cooper. French can't quite hammer that one home, but he does score 2. The Chargers have fought back here in this quarter. So it is an 8-4 run to start the quarter for Crandall. That's going to be a foul on French. His first, team's third of the quarter. Florian for Campbell. That's 3 from deep for Trey Campbell. First year out of Scarborough. Oh, nice ball movement there to French. Goes into Lavoie, and French comes up holding his shoulder there. It's going to be a blocking foul. I didn't think Lavoie had a swing or anything there that would have injured French's shoulder, but Lavoie's a pretty solid fella to run into. French, 13 points, 9 boards, an assist and a half, shoots 67% from the free throw line. 74% from the free throw line. The great addition he's been to this Charger lineup this season. Paul against Glenn. Michael Murray says that's a travel. Thought there was a hand in there tying that ball up myself. But Mr. Murray's much closer to the action than I am. And he's seen a whole lot more than I have. Reset there on the shot clock. So we'll back this one up and do it again. Tommies look like they're in a little 1-3-1 here. Maybe even a 2-3. Zone action anyway. Campbell's going to pick up that foul. Third on the team. Ethan Tumwine, first year at FHS right here in Fredericton, will check in for Lavoie. He'll mark Daniel Hawks here initially and collect the rebound there on the Curtis miss. Good day or bad day, Curtis is a shooter. Isaiah on the strong take and good finish, under control that time was Isaiah going to the rim, and Neary had the steal there on that pass. Cooper gets into the red paint against Florian. Florian changed the shot on there and did nice yeoman work not to pick up the foul. That time Isaiah was blocked, but it's Tumwine who collects the carom and lays it up for two. Cormier for Glenn. Glenn with a nice move to shake Trey Campbell, and nice pull up for two. Glenn says, I'm not taking it in there against Harrison. I'm just going to stop right here and shoot the easy two. Into the post for Florian. Baseline jumper, and he drains that one. Florian, a real nice touch on the offensive end. Nice take and finish by Cormier. Right into the teeth of the Tommy defense and scores two. I was about to say, the big difference for me in this Tommy's team is the communication on the defensive end seems much improved from pre-Christmas. French back in. Curtis to the bench. Hawks will pick up the foul, his first, team's fourth. Tyrese Paul to the line. He's a 4-inch wing. At Leo Hayes High on the north side, fifth year of eligibility. $11 points average for Tyrese. Owen Amos in for Harrison Florian. Thing the Tommies don't have is really a second real big. Be, I guess, Lavoie. He's sort of the other big for the Tommies, but he's slightly undersized as big as Lavoie. Owen Amos checks in and picks up the foul. Littleton and Hoyt. They are in for STU. On the line is French and a 75% free throw shooting. Makes that one. 19-point game. It was 21 at the quarter break, so we've held it fairly steady in terms of the differential. Nice ball movement there for Hoyt to the corner. He's going to shuffle the feet. Lane in. Full bench look here for STU. 3:04 to go here in the first half. They force a turnover there as Daniel Hawks overthrows the receiver. Out of bounds. Incomplete pass. Big football Sunday here. Down, I think, to, I guess, 6 teams now. 8 teams coming into the weekend. in the NFL. 2 out yesterday, 2 more out today. Tyree Cooper right to the tin. Nobody stopped him. He's going to take 2 points. Not the type of defense the Tommies are looking for. Littleton loses the handle. It's going to go as a foul on Vince Littleton. His first. And the Tommies now are over the limit, so we're going to shoot bonus. Yeah, I'm not sure why we're shooting here because that's referees are doing the right thing to converge and talk about this. I think this is call a team control foul. Is my view. I didn't actually see what they were calling the foul on 100%. But I believe the right thing is to inbound on the end line. The players were right in the first case. The referees confer and say, yeah, it's an inbound, not a free throw. No argument from the Crandall bench on that one. Crandall sets a press break here. The Tommies just back off, and they've dropped back into what appears to be, I was going to say what appeared to be a man-to-man, but still zone by the look of it, I think. Now Lavoie in for Tumwine. Rebound, Littleton. Lavoie to the front court. Amos for Littleton, picked off by Cooper. It was a lazy pass there, and Cooper intercepted it, goes the length of the court for 2. Littleton goes to the rack himself and scores 2. Tommies look to get that 2 back. Glenn on the dribble drive to the corner for Cormier. Beat the shot clock, but it couldn't get it past the rim. Goalie's best friend sometimes are the goalposts. Lane, and it's right into the hands of Lavoie, and he gets called putting the shoulder down and the offensive foul. Seen a bit of bewilderment on that one. Thought he was just trying to collect the ball myself, but he was trying to get space at the same time. 1 minute remaining first half. Lavoie's first. Team is over the limit, but again, they will not be shooting on that one. As Harrison Florian is back in with Gaio Isaiah. Florian with the knockaway, picked up by Hoyt. Hoyt passed off to Villain, but drew a foul. Bree Gallagher says we're going to shoot 2. I think he was in the act of passing more than shooting, but nonetheless, we're going to shoot. Tanner Hoyt will go to the line. Second foul on Cooper. Hoyt averages 15 a game. A very good free throw shooter at 80% plus. Hawks for Cooper for the final 46 seconds of this quarter, almost undoubtedly. Don't want Cooper to chance picking up his third if you're Coach McKillop. Hoffer to the cutting Cormier. Scores against Hoyt. With a 1 second differential, game and shot clock here. Tommies could play almost for the last one. Littleton had the screen of Florian. And Florian with the score as well in the foul. A little slow motion there, getting that one away. Foul's going to go on French, his second. Florian to the line with a chance to make it an even 20 with an even 10 left here in the first half. Even 20-point lead, that is, and 10 as in terms of seconds. Florian with the miss, but Villain with the rebound. Double teamed in the corner, gets it outside for Trey Campbell. Campbell for three, that one's no good. Isaiah was going to try for the tip, but he couldn't quite get enough of it. It was 21, 31-10 after the first quarter. After the second quarter, it is 19, so the Chargers take a couple off the Tommies lead. 52-33, I'm Bill Gibson. You're watching Tommies TV and ACAA.TV. Come on back in about 14 minutes, 14 and a half now. We'll have action from the second half. Good afternoon, fans. Welcome back once again to the LB Gym here in Fredericton, New Brunswick. Halftime men's ACAA action. St. Thomas Tommies 52, Crandall Chargers 33. I'm Bill Gibson. You're watching ACAA TV. Let's do a little look at the stat sheet from the first half. For the Chargers, it's James French, 10 points, 5 boards. Devon Glenn, 5 points. Curtis, 3. Tyree Cooper, 4. Gabriel Cormier, 4. Hoffer, 3. Hawks, 4. That totals your 33 points for Crandall. For the Tommies, Trey Campbell with 11 on 4 of 10 shooting, 3 from behind the three-point arc. Hoyt and Florian, 7 each. Lavoie, 8. Isaiah, 5. Paul, 3. Littleton, 2. Tamwine, 2. Villain, 4. And Owen Amos, 3. In terms of rebounds, it's Florian with 5. Who's having a pretty good game is Harrison. Turnovers, Crandall has made 10. Tommy's only 6. Shooting percentages, really interesting ones here for me. Tommy shooting 50%. Crandall shooting 42. Tommy's 38% from deep. Crandall 21. And free throws, a big discrepancy on the free throw line. Chargers 2 of 3, Crandall Tommy's 8 of 12. So a bit of a difference from the game before Christmas in terms of how the game has gone, really. Really a bit of a reversal is what I'm trying to say, if I get the words out of my mouth correctly here. Not sure what I spit out there just a minute ago, but it wasn't what I was trying to say anyway. Regardless, it is the Tommies out in front by 19 here. They're led by 20 after the first quarter. So the long layoff for STU didn't hurt them. They come out early, establish some offense and a bit of defensive identity there, holding Crandall to 10 in their first quarter. For Crandall, they haven't been able to duplicate that defensive game thus far they had against the Tommies, and holding them only to 75 before Christmas here on the Tommies home court. Important one here for the Tommies. They can even in the win column with Crandall here. Would move the Tommies to 6-3. Crandall would drop to 6-4 out of this one. Inside for Florian, he scores 2 on the look from Tyrese Paul. Isaiah, Campbell, Florian, Paul, and Lavoie for the Tommies, the starting 5 here in the second half. For the Chargers, Glenn, Curtis, French, Cormier, and Cooper. Same 5 who started the game for Crandall. I think this one's going to get closer yet. I think Crandall's got a run in them. Let's stay tuned for that. Certainly, Tommies can't mail in the second half, have to bring it just like they did in the first half. And that's what Coach Hickey is looking for. We'll talk a little bit about upcoming games and whatnot as we go through the second half here, as the game allows, and if the game allows. Curtis from 3, and he makes that one. He's got the long hold on the follow-through. He doesn't have the pistols out quite yet. When he gets cooking, he gets them 6 shooters out from the hip when he makes those 3-pointers. Lavoie on the spin. Offensive rebound goes to Gaio Isaiah. He just uses his strength there. There were 3 Chargers that hit the deck. But it was Isaiah who stayed on his feet and scored 2. French for Curtis. Curtis on the drive. Gets by Florian, and now he's starting to cook. Is Brett Curtis. Fans behind me here calling for the and one. Crandall bench has got some life. Campbell with a lot of dribbles, but no movement. Picks it up after going just a few feet. 7 on the shot clock. Campbell's going to have to create something here from deep. Trey Campbell. Cooper to Cormier. Curtis, little heat check shot. Back rim, rebound for Campbell. Campbell's pass for Isaiah. A little bit behind him, and Gallo can't get the binders on quick enough to bring that big body to a stop. Would have needed a little Velcro on the hands to keep that one under control anyway, I think. Glenn looking for the clear out, gets the screen from French. Now 9 on the shot clock. Glenn against Florian, and he loses the handle. It's Lavoie out of the pack, and Glenn's going to pick up the foul. He says, that's on me, I know it. His second, team's first of the quarter. We've played 3 minutes here. Tommies have extended the 19-point lead to 21, so we're pretty fairly even here through the first 3 minutes of the quarter. Florian, high catch. Isaiah trying to establish himself in the post, gets called for the offensive foul on the push. I think that's just a question of being stronger than your opponent in the post. Coach Hickey's questioning how that's a foul. Not sure how they picked Gallo out of that pack. Like just clean post play to me, but 3 officials and just 1 me, so we'll take their word for it. Gallo's only his first foul. 2 up on the board there for a moment, but it is only his first. Glenn for 3. That one rimmed out. That one looked like it was down and through. There's been a couple on that rim this game that been halfway through or better and come back out. I always thought that was the better scoring rim in this gym for years and years and years. Hawks is down. I believe he's got a hit to the back of his head. Going to have a whistle here. Daniel Hawks, I believe, hit the floor there pretty hard. Appears to be okay. Stays in the game. At the very least, usually you see those instances. They come off and get a little check out. Lavoie for Paul. Isaiah there on the offensive glass. Campbell for 3. That's another one that was partway through the rim and popped back out. Cormier outside for Glenn. Hawks. Just wide on that one. Florian for Lavoie. Tough catch there. Back for the roll and Florian. He got body, no foul. Tip rebound to the Chargers. There's a foul definitely there. Cormier. It's going to be either Paul or Lavoie. It's going to be Paul on the foul. Hoyt and Littleton check in as does Villain, as the Tommies go a bit smaller here. Off the bench for the Chargers is the broad-shouldered Mark Hoffer. Met him in the hall pregame, and He doesn't look broad on your webcast stream. He definitely is, and I can say that being a pretty broad fellow myself. And Mr. Hoffer casts a pretty wide shadow. Oh, good hands there by Cormier to take it away from Isaiah. Even better hands from Gallo to pick it back up and score two. Glenn on the reversal. Good side for Cooper. 7 on the shot clock. That's Hoffer. To the cutting Hawks. Villain met him there. No foul call. Referees deem that clean, and that's going to be a foul on Cormier against Littleton. Littleton guarded by Cooper. Second foul on Cormier. Team second this quarter. I'll make that the third on Cormier. Team's third this quarter. Hawk still seems to be trying to shake out the cobwebs for Crandall. Lavoie pass intercepted by Hoffer. Good hands by Hoffer there to corral that. Cormier against Lavoie. Nice spin move. Amos checks in for STU. Tommy's a little ragged there on that possession. Cormier gets the matchup on Villain, deflected by Isaiah into the hands of Littleton. That's going to be a foul on Cooper. Team's fourth, Tyree's third. So that's 3 on Cooper, 3 on Cormier. Very different storyline to this game than their previous meeting. Littleton faked off on the pass and then did go to Hoyt, who misses the corner 3. Cooper for Glenn launches a three-pointer and drains a three-pointer. In rhythm shot there for Devon Glenn. Littleton, penetration into the paint. And Littleton is down holding the knee. And a good sign here for the Tommies. Littleton will shake that one off, it seems. Initially looked much worse than what it appeared to be when he first hit the floor there. Littleton the line. He's a 17 points per game player thus far. 5.5 boards, 3 assists. It's about 2/3 of his free throws. A double miss there won't help that percentage. Let's have a look, see how he's doing on that leg and knee. He looks okay, at least at that speed, not full speed there. Curtis has one rim through. Lead down to 14. As I said, I expected this one would get closer. Isaiah goes to the rim. going to be an offensive foul on Gaio Isaiah. That's what I thought the call was going to be. It is Brett Curtis who stood in and took that charge from Gaio. I know I wouldn't want Gaio to barrel into me like that. Isaiah's second foul, team's third. But more importantly here, it's the Chargers with an opportunity to cut into the lead even further. A three-pointer this trip would be absolutely huge for Crandall. Glenn's going to take one. Oh, a travel call. Believe. Three-pointer did go through. That would have been a massive bucket. So we're getting a towel here. A little perspiration situation on the court. Missed exactly what that was. It was either away for a 3 seconds or a travel. Fans here behind me didn't like the call. It's a bit of a pro Crandall group just over my shoulder. Happy to have you here in the gym, no matter who you cheer for. Florian on the catch. Belane into traffic. Crandall defense has been better this quarter. Florian can't get the tip to go, but he crashes the boards again and picks it up. It's going to be a foul, I believe, on Curtis. Yep. His second, team's fifth. That'll send Florian to the line. Lavoie in for Belane. Florian's a really good free throw shooter. And of course, my apologies, Harrison. Time I say something like that, it seems to be a jinx. Come in shooting 83%. And of course, 0 for 2. I think I'm 3 for 3 on that here this afternoon in the jinx department. Sometimes it just happens. Inside all alone is Hawks, and he scores 2. The lead now down to 12. Was at one point 21. 19 at the halftime break. So a big quarter here for Crandall thus far. They really held the Tommies down too. The Tommies only 9 points this quarter. Crandall has 16. Crandall over the limit, so Lavoie will shoot. I'll just let this one happen and not mention the free throw percentage is 74. .124 to go in the quarter. Big miss there on the free throw. Glenn steps on the sideline. Good defense by Trey Campbell. Tommies have lost a little bit of their energy this quarter. They had, talking on defense isn't as evident from up here. Certainly the pace seems to more favor the Chargers. It's Glenn picks Campbell's pocket, lays it in for 2. It's going to be a goaltend call. As Campbell got up looking for the block, it was already off the board. That's going to be a goaltend. Nearly another takeaway by Glenn. Campbell's going to shoot the 3. Missed the 3. Florian collects the rebound, banks it off of Daniel Hawks. Hawks thought Florian was already out of bounds on that one. 55.9 seconds here in the quarter to go. And Curtis takes it away from Lavoie. Going to be a foul on Brett Curtis. That's going to be 3 on Curtis. The Tommies will go back to the line again. And Trey Campbell will go to the line. Looking around the crowd here earlier, and I'll call it out now because I'm not sure we'll get a chance in the fourth quarter. We look across, and you may see as the camera pans, back row of the bleachers just on the Tommy side. It's to be a St. John Union sweater in the back row. John Union, of course, in the soon-to-be live, I guess, coming this March, Eastern Canadian Basketball League, of which Coach McKillop coaches the Moncton Motion franchise. Another score by Crandall, and we're down to an 11-point game. Good take by Tyrese Paul. He scores 2 and a good chance to convert it. Very much looking forward to that. I think it's a 6-team league, that ECBL. Getting together, Coach Kendrick out of Holland College has a hand in getting that league off the ground. I believe we've got Truro, Summerside, Charlottetown, Moncton, Bathurst, St. John. I think are the teams in that one, if I'm correct. Wish them well getting that off, and look forward to seeing that. Pro League start up March timeline. We'll soon hear rosters here in the next few weeks. Campbell to finish out the quarter, misses the lay-in. Trey Campbell with a little look off there, and I think he looked himself away from the rim. So the Chargers cut a few off the lead. It is the Tommies 67, Crandall 53 as we go to the third quarter break. Fans, welcome back. It's in the break here between the third and fourth quarter. I'm Bill Gibson. You're watching ACAA TV, Tommy's TV on YouTube. Entertaining one here this afternoon. The Tommies plus 14 on the Crandall Chargers. Tommy's first action out of a 51-day break. Chargers, it's their third game of the second half already here. Lost at Holland College, won yesterday at home versus Kings. Holland Mount A playing right now in Mount A. Last time I checked that score, the online version didn't make sense to me. I have heard there were some internet issues in the renovated gym there at Mount A. I can't pass that along to you. Also today, UNBSJ at UKC. That's a 4 o'clock start, so they've been underway probably through the first quarter by about now in the UNBSJ UKC game. Upcoming action, STU goes to Holland College next weekend, Saturday, Sunday. February 4th, they're at UNBSJ. Back home here February 11th and 12th versus MSVU and UKC. Crandall, the 27th Friday, they host UKC at 8. 29th, they host UNBSJ. The 3rd, they host MSVU. And the 10th, they are on the road at Mount A. ACAA.ca, all your scores and info, schedules about this league as Curtis takes a deep shot and misses as we're underway here in quarter 4. Paul on the drive. It's going to be a foul, I believe, on Cooper, and if it is, it's his 4th. Hawks off the bench. It is Cooper, and it is his 4th. Paul, Campbell, Isaiah, Lavoie, and Florian start the quarter for the Tommies. It was Cooper, but no longer in the game. Starting for Crandall with Cormier, French, Glenn, and Curtis, and of course Daniel Hawks, the sub for Cooper. Curtis for Cormier and Hawks. Hawks with the miss, rebound tipped to Lavoie. Lavoie will find Isaiah. Lavoie was looking for the high-low post pass cross court. French on the finish on the nice passing play. Cormier to Hawks to French. If there was a second assist there, it would certainly go to Cormier. Paul on the miss, rebound to Glenn. Glenn for Curtis to the corner for Cormier. Rebound Isaiah. Isaiah weaves and he's going to draw a blocking foul on Glenn. Third foul on Devon Glenn. Second team foul this quarter on Crandall. Several Chargers starting to get into foul trouble. Curtis and Glenn each with 3, Cooper with 4. Curtis picks off that pass. Ahead for Cormier, he draws the foul on Lavoie and makes the hoop. He'll go to the line. The chance to cut it to 11. As anticipated, I expect this one was going to get closer. Crandall team's finding a bit more of the defense. It has been their signature thus far this season here in this second half. As I've been saying all year long, it's a strong league. Players are strong. It's as talented as the league as I've seen it been in many, many years. My view at least. And the coaching, second to none, and as mentioned earlier, well, pro coach here and Mr. McKillop, the coaching the pro team, the Moncton Motion. Suddenly now it's a 9-point game as the Chargers finish there. Tighter still, the Tommies. Lead has been as big as 21 in this one. And it is the Chargers fighting back. And right full of life on that Charger bench. Tommy searching for the right adjustment, particularly on the defensive end. They were outscored 20-15. In the third quarter, and they've been outscored here in this quarter 7-2. So a 27-17 run from the halftime for Crandall. And really credit Crandall with the defensive adjustment. Littleton for Florian. Paul Lavoie. Cross-court pass Littleton steps on the sideline. Little deflection there by Devon Glenn. The ball goes back over to Crandall. A chance to cut into the Tommy lead again. That one's tipped by Littleton out of bounds. Cormier just lets it go. Looks like a 12 on the shot clock. When the bulbs are out, it's quite hard to tell some of the numbers, but that's a 12, I believe. Now 4 on the shot clock. Glenn outside. Cormier. No rim. Tanner Hoyt will check in for Harrison Florian. To Tommy's. I say go small, but I think they're more going at another deep shooting threat than going small. Delay here while James French knots up the laces. Looks like he's got enough laces there to wrap a bale of hay with. He's got them tied up now. Lavoie from deep. No good. Rebound for Cormier. Glenn into the front court. Hawks for Cormier. Cormier was looking for a little teardrop pass to the cutting Hawks. Tyrese Paul with about an 18-footer. That's nothing but silk for Tyrese. Important bucket for the Tommies. Oh, nice pass to the cutter. But Cormier can't finish. Challenged by Isaiah at the rim. Littleton, Lavoie, Littleton. Oh, Littleton again down hard. No foul there. Up at the other end, French kicks it outside. Cormier into the painted area. Back outside for French. French will take the three. That one, I thought was going to rim around and in. Paul looking to back in there, but gets surrounded by blue shirts. Curtis takes it away, and Littleton picks up the foul on Brett Curtis. Curtis, I'm sure, will be going to the line here. Hoffer and Cooper up off the bench for Crandall. For Cormier and Hawks. And it is Curtis on the line. 74% free throw shooter is Brett Curtis. 5th year out of Harvey. Feels like Brett's been playing for about 25 years. He's been in the league quite a while. Of course, again, COVID means you can hang around just a little bit longer the way the eligibility worked. Outside shot from Littleton, no good. Rebound to Cooper. Trailing by 10, it's the Chargers to the front court. Glenn, baseline. Goes by Littleton, spins back to the rim. Nice move, Devon Glenn. Tommy lead down to 8. It's been a long time since it's been this close. Tommy's had very little to the rim here in this quarter. There's one for Isaiah to the rim. Right on cue. Curtis. He'll get to the rim for 2 points, and we're back to 8. Isaiah barrels through the key. He's going to draw a foul, go to the line. Foul will go on Curtis, and I think that's 4 on Curtis. It is 4 on Brett. Isaiah to the line, 13.3 points, 6.9 rebounds per game, and 3.3 assists for Gallo. Strong free throw shooter. Not a great percentage from beyond the arc, but overall pushing 50% on the field goal percentage despite not a great first half from behind the arc as mentioned. Lavoie on the rebound, Florian on the rebound again on the Lavoie miss. Shuffling the feet is Harrison. Seemed to be undecided there whether he was going to kick it back out or go to the rim, and by the time he decided to go to the rim, one of the other feet had already moved. Good defense by French to force it. Cooper was right at Villain. Villain held the vertical, and nice pass from Littleton. Hoop's going to count, but it's going to be a charge on Littleton. You say that's after the basket. There we have the discussion. I think the Tommies got a bit of a break there myself on that call. Wasn't totally clear to me that charge was after the basket. Isaiah on the steal. And taken right back by Devon Glenn, and now Isaiah picks up the foul. And that's called an unsporty foul on Gallo Isaiah. I think because it was contact of the head, certainly not intended that by Isaiah in terms of an unsportsmanlike type situation, but it will be shots on the ball, or a shot in the ball for Crandall. Isaiah's third, Tommy's fourth of the quarter. A couple interesting turns of events in terms of the foul situation. Coach Hickey will argue that one. Glenn missed the first. He's an 80% free throw shooter. And he missed them both. I'm sure someone on the Tommy sideline there saying, ball don't lie. Harking back to Rasheed Wallace of the NBA fame. Chargers will inbound. We'll have a missed opportunity there for Devon Glenn to get 2 with the clock stopped. Glenn uses the French screen. Now gets matched down Florian. Shuffle of the feet on Devon Glenn. Like Murray's been around a long time, he says, I know when the traveling music starts, and I need to join the chorus and blow the whistle. 3:20 remaining, the Tommies plus 11 on the Chargers. Lavoie looking for the spin. Good defense there by French. Pulled the chair away a little bit from Jeffrey Lavoie. Lavoie lost the balance. Curtis thought he had the three. You can almost see him loading up those pistols. Villain has it knocked out of bounds off of Glenn. Will stay Tommy's ball, 6 on the shot clock. Tyrese Paul checking in. This will be for Vince Littleton. So it'll be Villain and Isaiah, I guess, in the backcourt for the Tommies here now. Be a foul on Mark Hoffer on the inbounds. That's the fourth foul on Hoffer, fourth on the team. Little warning there, no shots after the whistle. Florian with a catch there. He's against Hoffer, kicks it back outside. Now Lavoie up top. 7 on the shot clock for Isaiah. Paul, he's going to have to create. That's going to be Hoffer. That's going to be his fifth, team's fifth, so that will send Paul to the line. It is 5 on Hoffer and the fifth team foul. Referee Gallagher came to the bench and said bonus or player foul, and the answer was both. So we've got the 30-second timeout taken by Crandall. Several Chargers in foul trouble. Among them is Hoffer. It'd be Curtis and Cooper, I think, each have 4, if I recall correctly. Started to say there at one point, interesting by Coach Hickey, started Trey Campbell at the point, but it was Vince Littleton a little more in the game here as we've wound down, and now neither in the game in favor of Evan Villain. Really, it's the starting 5, except for Campbell with Villain in place. Paul makes the free throw. And just to finish my thought on that foul situation, the Chargers start to elect the foul here to try to extend the game if it gets to that situation. They're in danger of losing more players if they do commit the fouls, and that's going to be a foul on Tyrese Paul. He was in pursuit of Devon Glenn, and Glenn will get himself to the line. Last trip wasn't so kind to Devon. Let's see if this trip is a little bit better. Starts off not so good. Second one is clean. Timeout taken. I believe it's the first timeout of this half by the Tommies. Tommies plus 12, 78-66. I think it's 2:13 on the game clock. Next action here for Tommies Court Sports. We've got some midweek volleyball action as a make-up date from the stormed-out game from last weekend. Holland College Hurricanes here in men's and women's action on Wednesday. That'll be what we've got on slate for this week, I believe. I have to go back and check the volleyball schedule, see if we get anything else going on here next weekend in terms of volleyball, but I believe we just have that one midweek matchup. Tommy men in volleyball action at UNBSJ today. The SJ picked up their first victory of the year with a win over the Tommies yesterday. And the volleyball women, they beat UKC, who had been at the front of the pack for much of the season, and we're going on to play MSVU today. I'm going to check the results on that match, but I believe if the Tommies were to take that one, that would put them, I think, on top of the conference. I'll have to check that out in women's volleyball action. Regardless, some great volleyball coming up on Wednesday evening. Tune in to ACAA TV if you're a Tommies fan for that. But really, if you can, get to the gym. I think that's going to go at 5 and 7, I believe, are the timing of that. But again, gotommies.ca. Check out their schedules. Have a look at that one. Florian into the paint. Lucky not to pick up a travel there, I think. Tapped around, and it comes into the hands of Glenn. Glenn for French. French has got space. Finds Hawks. Tipped by Paul into the hands of Lavoie. Lavoie is going to attack that. I think Lavoie hit a little wet spot and slid on the floor, and Paul is finding that same wet spot. Trouble getting up. The ball leaks back outside to Devon Glenn, and he drains a three. The clock adjustment here as we're under 2 minutes. It stops after every score. So 9-point game, 1:33 to go. I think we're in for a good finish of this one. Crandall gets a stop or a steal here. Interesting as Lavoie seems to be primary ball handler. This configuration of Tommy's for Coach Hickey. Lavoie goes to the line. It's going to be the fourth foul on Glenn. So I believe we've got Curtis, Cooper, and Glenn on the court, all with 4. I think is the foul situation. Now we're going to do some cleanup on the court. I believe we're having a discussion on how many fouls Mr. Glenn has in this one. Let's have a look at what the stat sheet said in terms of personal fouls. Said he had 1 at half. Discrepancy at the scorer's table. We'll go with that. That's what we're doing. So whatever's happened here, it doesn't appear we've made any adjustments. We're just playing as is. Lavoie makes the second free throw. 9-point lead, minute 25 to go. Chargers need scores. Tommy's with a stop or two, I think, can ice this one away. It's a long way to go yet, and that's going to be a foul on Tyrese Paul. The big collision. That's going to be over the limit, so that's going to send Curtis to the line for some free runs, and Tyrese got the worst part of that collision, I think, with Brett Curtis. Tyrese is a gamer. He'll stay in. Shake that one off. Be a bit of a bruise there tomorrow, I'm sure. Curtis with the clock stops, makes the first. Heavy press coming here now for Crandall, undoubtedly. I do think it's particularly interesting. The Coach Hickey has got both Campbell and Littleton. Would be your usual options at the point on the bench, but lots of Tommies can handle the ball. Isaiah loses one there, and again he's going to call for the intentional or unsporty on the blow-by. He's going to called on the grab. That's going to be his fourth. And now Cooper's going to get a chance on the line, and it will be possession. Crandall after this. Two of those Isaiah has got here in this. It's going to be his second unsportsmanlike, so he's going to have to come out of the game. Akin to a technical, if you will. Neither one of them certainly unsportsmanlike intent. Contact to the head, and it looked like a grab on the reach into the officials on that one after the steal. And that does bring Littleton back into the game, so we're now down to a 6-point lead. The chance for it to be 5 in possession for Crandall. So it's 6. And Crandall, if they don't come back in this one, they'll be kicking themselves as they look at some of these free throws that they've missed here in this quarter. Outside for French, for Cooper. Cooper on the drive, cross-court pack for Glenn for 3. Rims out, rebound Tyrese Paul. He rips it away from Tyree Cooper and finds Vince Littleton. Littleton for Villain, Lavoie, Villain. Curtis with the steal on the errant pass, but he steps out of bounds. Tommy's catch a break. They got a reset on the shot clock there as well on that change of possession. Timeout taken by Coach Hickey and the Stu Tommies. So from a Crandall standpoint, if you had told them at the beginning of this game, you're going to hold Stu to right around 80 points, they'd have probably said they liked their chances in this one. Only put 73 on the board themselves. The Tommies, they started out the 31-point first quarter, led 52-33. At halftime, a 19-point lead. That was dwindled down to 14 after 3 quarters. And Crandall has further cut that down to 6 as we sit here now with, I think it's a minute and change. The timeout timer's on the clock. But I think it's about a minute and change to go in this one, 107 or something like that. Maybe even less. Let you know here as soon as the time comes back up on the clock. It is 45.6, so less than that to go. Might have been a minute 7 the last time we were off. That number stuck in my head for some reason. So the Tommies calling timeout. Thought they had the option maybe there to advance. I'm not sure if you do in that situation. Nonetheless, they will either not have it or have chosen not to use it. Inbound in the backcourt. The longer shot clock. Lavoie on the tough catch. Foul on Cooper, and that will be 5 on Tyree, I believe. It'll send Jeffrey Lavoie to the line. 4th year of Nicole Secondary, Patrice Desloges in Ottawa is Mr. Lavoie. Make here would make it a 3-possession game. 2 3-pointers right now, 6-point differential. So a big shot here for the Tommies. And it's a miss. Rebound for French, so it stays a 2-possession game. Free throw shooting, not great for either team. Oh, big steal there from Evan Villain. Picked Devon Glenn on the way by. Lavoie with the ball in his hands again. Back for Paul, wrapped up by Hawks. 18.6 seconds. That will send Tyrese Paul to the line. Paul made a big shot there earlier to keep it at 11 for St. Thomas, or push it to 11. Back rim there. Free throws have been anything but here in the fourth quarter for both these teams. Paul drains that one. It does make it the three-possession game. 7 points, 80-73. Timeout Chargers. This game has been the entertaining one we thought we were going to get coming in. Stu had the big start. Crandall found their defensive identity in the second half. Closed the gap substantially. Not all the way down here as low as 6. Three-possession game with under 20 seconds to go now here. Certainly lots of possibilities for Crandall. But it starts with a quick score out of this timeout. And maybe even a look from deep. So you're thinking Glenn or Curtis are probably your trigger men for Crandall. I would also say don't sleep on Daniel Hawks. If he gets an open look, he can bury it as well. Back for Glenn. It is Glenn on the inbounds. He puts it up. That looked good, but it rimmed out. Rebound Florian. Should pretty much do it for this one. Villain. Tommies are just going to work it around. Crandall electing not to foul. Lavoie puts one up. Rebound to French. And that will be the final score. Tommies 80, Crandall Chargers 73. So Stu picks up the win. They will move to 6-3. Crandall will drop to 6-4. So those teams will flip-flop in the standings. Will Crandall and Stu. Next action for the Tommies on the island for 2 next weekend. Saturday, Sunday, the 28th and 29th at the McMillan Center for Community Engagement. Get there if you can, if you're on PEI. Check out that Holland College team and this Stu team. There are going to be some high-scoring games, I would imagine. For the Tommies, for Crandall, it's Friday hosting UKC, Sunday hosting UNBSJ. One more quick mention for basketball fans in the Fredericton area. Next weekend, Mike Fitzgerald Memorial Games at FHS goes Saturday, 12, 2, 4, and 6, JV girls and boys, varsity girls and boys in the Mike Fitz Memorial. Get there if you're looking for some basketball action in Fredericton next Saturday. Folks, I'm Bill Gibson. It's been my pleasure once again and privilege to bring you this action from the ACAA. Check out acaa.ca for all your information on the league and check out the schedules. Tune in to some great collegiate action any chance you can. Have a great week, folks, and see you Wednesday night for Tommy's Volleyball.